All right, on today's video, we are back at the range, and today we are testing out the Monstrum Spectre 1-6X24 LPVO. I'm a big fan of LPVOs, so I'm super excited to do this review. Now, if you have not watched the video before this, we did an unboxing video. We went over all the specs, the dot, the reticle. We went over everything in that video. So if you want to know all the specs about this, go back and watch that video, because today we're going to get it sighted in and we're going to shoot a bunch of rounds with it. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get this sighted in and have some fun. All right, we got the gun set up here in the Pride Fend rest. We're at the 15-yard range. We're going to get it on paper. Then we're going to move to the 25-yard range, and we're going to sight it in at 25 yards. We're going to take it over to the rifle range. We're going to shoot it at 50 yards, and we're going to stretch it out to 100. Now, the ammo we're going to be using are some reloads. This is Hornady 55 grain FMJs. These are sitting on top of 25.6 grains of IMR 4320. All right, here we go. We're at 15 yards. Going to aim for the center target. Get this zeroed in. All right, we were 3 inches low, so we're going to move this up, and we were about ½ an inch to the right. All right, there was our first shot, our second, and our third, so we're hitting the edge of the bullseye, but we're going to move over to 25 yards. All right, we got 5 rounds loaded up. We got the camera down there rolling. Let's shoot a 5-shot group. Still got to take this 2 clicks left. All right, here we go with our 5-shot group. All right, let's go see how we did. Not gonna get much better than that. I'm real happy with that. All right, got 5 rounds loaded up. I'm gonna shoot a 5-shot group, freestyle here. See how it does. All right, there's our 5-shot group. Got 1, 2, 3 in the same hole. All right, let's get into some initial thoughts here. You look through these Monstrum optics and look through the glass. Sometimes you wonder how a $200 LPVO like this can have that nice of glass. Now, I got it on 1 power right now, and it's easy to track the targets. It's about like using a Monstrum prism optic in a 1 power when it's turned all the way down to 1. Real easy to track the targets. Now, as much as I love the scope covers on this, especially putting it away in the safe at night, or if you got it propped up on a wall somewhere and keep them down, keep the dust and stuff from gathering in the lenses. If I'm going to be, say, shooting a rifle series match with this, or some sort of outlaw match, I would probably take this off, or, since I'm left-handed, spin it all the way down to here. I can still manipulate the charging handle just fine, or I'm just going to take this thing off altogether during a match. Now, the throw lever on this, very easy to grab. If you're on one, say you're shooting at a target around 10-15 yards away, you got to stretch out to 50. It's super easy to throw that lever. And then you're on 6, and the clarity is still really, really good at 6. Now, the reticle in here. This is kind of my one complaint. It's very small, pretty hard to see with my older eyes. Now, a younger guy, he's going to be just fine. It's not bad, but I wish that reticle was just a little bit bigger for what this is. And really, so far, that's my only complaint. Now, we talked about illumination in the unboxing video, and it's not just Monstrum, but a lot of these prism scopes and these LPVOs from a lot of different companies, when you're on a bright sunny day like today, that illumination is not going to do you much good. Now, you can see it, but I'm not going to use it during the day. Now, if I'm shooting at dusk or real early in the morning or on a rainy, dreary day, then I'm going to use the illuminated reticle. But on a day like today, out here on a nice sunny day, I don't need the illumination. Alright, so now that we got our optic dialed in right where we want it, we're going to remove this cap. I'm going to try to keep this video a little short. Now, there is an O-ring in there. Make sure that makes its way back in there. We're going to take this cap, we're going to pull it off. I'm going to step around the camera here. We're going to turn the knob to 0, and we're going to line it up with the line on the optic, and there we go. We got it back on 0. Now we're going to take our O-ring, we're going to lay that back in there. There is a little bit of grease in there, so it should hold it just fine. We're going to take this little screwdriver, which isn't the best. I should have brought a nice screwdriver, but this is what I got. So this is what we're going to use. Okay, and we're going to lock that back down, just like that. Alright, we are out here at the Richwood Gun and Game Club. Got the Monstrum Spectre 1-6X24. We're out here having a USPSA practice, so I'm going to run this through a few of the drills. Alright, we wrapped up the USPSA practice at Richwood, and now I'm back here at the club where I do the majority of my filming. We're going to shoot some 5-shot groups. We've got my Hornady FMJ 55 grain reloads loaded up. We're going to shoot at the top right target first. Alright, let's get down and check out that group. Alright, we're hitting a little to the right, so we're going to adjust this to the left a little bit. Got the camera down there rolling. Let's shoot another 5-shot group at the top left target. Alright, let's get down and check out that group. Let's talk about this glass back here at 50 yards. Now I've got this turned all the way up to 6, and the glass is crystal clear. And I'm not getting any like fish-eyeing effect around the outside or anything, even turned all the way up to 6 power. And your target is super easy to see at 50 yards. It grouped real well there. Now we're going to take it over to 100, see if anything changes over at 100 yards. But at 50 yards, this is a great LPVO. So let's go over to 100 and let's see what we think about it over there at 100. Alright, we're set up over on the 100-yard range. I'm going to take one of these targets down, get it set up, and get the camera rolling. Alright, we got everything set up down there running at 100 yards. Camera's down there rolling, target's set up. Now, as far as the glass goes at 100 yards, still crystal clear. We're not getting any fish eyeing around it. I mean, as soon as you get down on the optic, it's right there. But the numbers on the target, I can't see those at 100 yards with it up on 6 power, which is not a big deal. I didn't figure I'd be able to. I've shot a lot of LPVOs. But I can make out the target perfect. Now, the square box in the reticle, and I'll put that up on the screen so you can see it. For these torso targets like this, it's pretty nice because you can actually put that target right inside that box. So, really nice glass. I'm impressed with it. So let's shoot a 5-shot group at 100 yards. See how it does. Alright, let's get down and check that target. Alright, I had a 50-yard zero on this, so I was aiming for the 8. And we got them all, I don't know, probably within 2.5 inches at 100 yards. So I'll take it. It's not too bad. It's a kill shot. Alright, my final thoughts on the Monstrum Spectre. Let's go over the pros and cons. The pros. This glass, now I've had to move over to the pistol range. I got friends over on the rifle range. I didn't want to be over there trying to film. But at 100 yards, this glass is crystal clear. And I will say it rivals, and maybe even better, than my Vortex Strike Eagles. And we talked about that in the unboxing video. This optic is $199. The Strike Eagle 1x6, you're looking at $299 plus another $60 for the mount, tax, shipping, whatever. And this is $199 and comes with the mount. So that's a major plus to the Spectre. The other thing that I really like are the turrets. They're nice and tactile, they're audible, easy to adjust. So that's another plus that I really like about this Spectre. Now, I only got one con, and I'm going to bring the picture of the reticle up here on the screen. I'm not a real big fan of the reticle. Now, the dot in the middle is super easy for me to get on target, even out to 100 yards. But the hash marks around that dot, I'm just not a real big fan of. I wish they were just a little bit bigger and a little bit darker. They're so faint, they're hard to see. Now, I don't have the best eyes. Guy with younger eyes, they may look a little better to him or girl. But for me, I'm not a real big fan of the hash marks in the reticle. But other than that, it's really the only con that I have. Now, what do I think this optic would be good for? I think this will make a good optic for a deer gun, like on a shorter barreled 450 Bushmaster for deer hunting here in Ohio, a 350 Legend. I think it would be an awesome optic for that. I have the Vortex Strike Eagle 1x6 on my 450 Bushmaster, and the last deer that I shot was at about 70 yards, and the LPVO worked great for that. I wasn't a real big fan of it on the up close targets at that USPSA practice, but that was just due to the fact that it's just not the right reticle for me for the type of shooting that I do. Now, if you're a hunter, you're going to use this, say, for shooting hogs or deer, I think this will make a great optic for that. So all in all, for 199 bucks, it's a great optic. It's got great glass, great clarity. One other thing we didn't really discuss is a lot of cheaper optics sometimes, when you go to shoulder them, you're moving back and forth trying to get that eye relief, and you're getting a little bit of that fisheye effect around it, especially when you got it turned all the way up to 6, and you do not get that with this Spectre. As long as you do your part and you get this thing set up right where you want it, get your eye relief right where you want it, adjust your buttstock if you're going to use it on an AR right where you need it, and this optics is going to do everything you need it to do. So that's my final thoughts on the Monstrum Spectre. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.